Shemai Brindia, and welcome back to my channel. My name's CaitlinAnwyn for anyone who's new here, and let's get back into building in Planet Zoo. I'm still trying to fill out this Africa Zoo, and today we're going to be doing a cheetah habitat. I know cheetahs aren't technically big cats because they don't roar, but I thought they would go really nicely near the lions because they still are technically cats. They're just in the same category as domestic cats. So I wanted to put them opposite the lion. This was one of the habitats I just kind of winged it, really. Like, I had no plan for this. I started building and hoped for the best. And I haven't had cheetahs in a zoo in a long time. The last time I put cheetahs in a zoo was the career mode scenarios. And my mum will never let me forget this moment, but one of the career mode scenarios, Bernie Goodwin, one of like the zoo owners, he said this line. I'll just put the clip in.
And I also see you've adopted a number of cheetahs.
I did, yeah.
You're gonna have your work cut out keeping them happy. Cheaters rarely prosper.
That ain't funny.
Sorry, I've been sitting on that ever since you got them.
Yeah. I'm not very good at jokes. All the way through building this, all I could think of was cheetahs never prosper. And I was like, why not? One of my favourite moments from playing Planet Zoo, and also one of my most embarrassing moments, but hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who else can you laugh at? But I knew I wanted to do something with like their main characteristics. I like to include something about the animal themselves in their habitat, and I just kept thinking about how fast cheetahs were. They're the fastest land animal, aren't they? Pretty much everything about a cheetah is made for speed. Some of the fun facts about cheetahs, which allow them to run so fast, is that they can't retract their claws like most other cat species, and that gives them better traction on the ground. And they've also evolved lighter bones and larger lungs to be able to run faster too. And that actually allows them to run 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 3 seconds. But anything to do with speed, I just kept thinking of like cars and roads. So I thought I would make like a roadside for them to run along the edge of the habitat. So I thought I'd draw it in terrain paint instead of like creating a physical road to make this feel more like a natural, just dirt road. So they've worn the ground out and like dug up all of the grass on this edge so they can run back and forth. I thought to go with like the speed of cheetahs, I would create speed limit signs or like a speedometer. I'm not sure whether it's in any other countries, but in the UK, in some more heavily trafficked roads or roads that are near schools, you will have a like live replay of the speed you're going underneath the speed limit. So say it was a 30-mile-an-hour road, when you drive past you would see you were going like 28. So I thought I would go with that and show the speed limits of roads in Africa, and I actually looked at a map of different speeds in different countries in the African continent, and I had a look at the map of where cheetahs are normally found on the African continent. Like, I tried to find one that was like most used, which was 100 kilometers an hour. The UK is still under miles per hour instead of kilometers an hour, and the rest of like our measurements are in meters and kilometers, so I don't know why we're in miles per hour. So it was a little tricky to try and see 100 on a speed limit, because 100 is just not what happens in the UK. Like 70 is the max speed you can go in the UK. How do you measure speed in your country? Do you go for kilometers an hour or miles per hour? I had a look at some other blueprints for road signs to get a little bit of inspiration of how I wanted to create this. So I found a circular sign that's like a no entry sign, and I based my sign off that. So I will put a link in the description of the sign that I was looking at. Putting the 100 speed limit down was a little bit of a experiment. I wanted the more, I don't know, formal looking letters, like regular looking letters, because the Planet Zoo font, like the original one, Boogaloo, I think it's called, is a little more jazzy and a little bit more fun, and I wanted this to be more formal because it's a speed limit sign. It needs to be straight and less fun looking, but I ended up not liking those because they were slightly larger than the Boogaloo font, and it ended up making the sign really large, and compared to the signpost that I'd used, it looked like a giant lollipop. I did have a look at some road signs in South Africa, I think, but I did see something that had this style of sign, which will have the speed limit in a white circle with a red outline and black numbers, and then underneath it will have a warning for a speed camera. The Habitat web camera was a perfect size for this little rectangle as like an image of a camera, and it works as a camera too. So I thought that was like a good cheat of finding something that would look like a camera to warn for a speed camera. And I really wanted to add something in that showed the speed of the cheetahs. Like the speed limit signs that I talked about, in the UK we have like signs that show the speed you're going. I've already explained this anyway, so this is the part where I wanted to show that. So I wanted to have a sign that said your speed, which would be the speed of the cheetahs, underneath the speed limit sign. I'm actually using a font that I downloaded off the Steam Workshop. I will put the link to this font in the description to the blueprint. The top speed of a cheetah is 130 kilometers an hour, and I didn't want to put like the top speed because I don't think they would naturally go all out all the time, especially in captivity like this, I guess. But I still wanted to show that they were going close to their max and of course over the speed limit of the road for a car, which I thought would be funny. So I picked 125 miles an hour. Maybe it could have been a little lower, but I wanted it to definitely go over the speed limit, like the cheetahs were breaking the road speed limit. And usually the speed limit signs that I would see in the UK, the numbers displayed on the speedometer sign would be in red if a person was going over the speed limit to show that they were doing something bad. I couldn't recolor the lettering that I had downloaded, unfortunately, so instead I put another switch shape underneath and put the numbers in a red box to display that it was like bad and breaking the speed limit, I guess. But of course I didn't want to just do a road and some signs and just call it a day there, even though I'm not sure whether I'm going to be doing any more habitats for this African zoo for a little while. I might be taking a little bit of a break next week because I might not have access to my PC. That's not quite set in stone yet, but just in case, there might not be videos next week, just to let you know. And the week after that, I am planning on playing the new Life is Strange game, True Colors. I've been really looking forward to playing that since the sneak peek trailer months ago now, and I really enjoyed playing Tell Me Why. It's made by the same developer? I'm not sure. I know there's a connection between Tell Me Why and Life is Strange, but I really love the Life is Strange games. The game comes out on the 10th, so I probably won't have a video ready for that Saturday, which is the 11th. First one of them would probably be out on the 15th, on the Wednesday. So if you want to see me play a different game, and Life is Strange is really fun, it's like a choice-based game, and it's kind of a little bit of a magical, supernatural feel to it as well, and LGBTQIA plus themes too, which is always fun. And now I'm kind of out of the closet, I feel like I'm not going to be as like, ooh. I'm not going to be giving up Planet Zoo. I will be doing Planet Zoo in between playing with the Life is Strange game. Don't give up on me. I will be coming back to this. I just might be taking a little break from this Africa Zoo because I'm hoping there'll be a new pack out soon as well. But I'm just making like a little pond for the cheetahs. They needed a bit more plant coverage. They don't need a lot, but they needed a little bit more. So I put some plants at the bottom of this pond. I'm actually using the nettles as underwater plants because the cheetahs don't really like water plants, and if you lower them into the ground enough, they just look like the aquatic plants. And it just gives a little bit of a variation as well. I like to put a few rocks in the bottom of the water so it doesn't look just like a puddle. And then I realised they needed some hard shelter. I hate hard shelter in this game because it never really fully works alongside some of the concepts I have, but I was trying to think of something that would go with a road. So I thought maybe a bus stop would work with this theme. And I had a look at some bus stops in African countries, and some of them were like made of glass, some of them were made of wood. So I tried to do like a mix of both. So mainly out of the wood pieces from the African base game style, but I also used the cross-hatched arbor pieces too from the Africa pack. And to make it like a solid roof, I just used glass panels. I used these wood planks as like a little bench seat. To start off with, this is too small for both cheetahs. There's only 2 cheetahs that are actually happy in a habitat, and I thought this would be perfectly fine. I don't think I quite understand hard shelters in this game. Found these glass pieces from the New World style and they're beautiful. I want to use them for something. I won't use them for this habitat, but I favorited it for later. It's like I found brand new things, like I just downloaded new packs and it's just objects that I haven't seen yet. There's so much in this game. It doesn't go with this theme. I will use them eventually though. You better believe I will. I will make a whole habitat just to use those objects. I've really played around with this. The shape of this bus stop changed like 4 times. I lowered the pitch of the roof because it was a little tall, lowering the pitch and then making it slightly larger over the roof by putting a flat edge over the top too. So instead of it just being like this, it's now like lower and curved over. The hard shelter itself was like a nice shape for a bus stop, and I think it worked really well as a bus stop, but I wanted some kind of sign to show that it was a bus stop too. I wish this flag was flexicolour, but it was not, so I got rid of that. And I tried an African style sign. I thought cheetah stop, like bus stop, but cheetah stop. Not my most original idea. But that sign actually blocked the cheetahs from entering the habitat shelter somehow. It's nowhere near their heads. I don't get the hitboxes with this game. Deep breaths, Caitlin. You stop getting so frustrated. This is probably one of the last habitats I'm going to do for this zoo. And it was super frustrating, which is usually what happens. And this is the last time that I changed the shape of this bus stop, I think. Made it a little bit longer so we would fit nicely in the center between the trees and between the road signs that I built. And I think this length and this size is perfectly fine for the cheetahs. And lastly, to tie in with the sunshade that I'd built for the guests to stand underneath and listen to the lion animal talk, I used these straw roof trims, roof accessories, just on the edge of the bus stop there. That tied this habitat in with the lion habitat then. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this cheetah habitat, and the links to the signpost and the custom font will be in the description that I used for the speed limit signs. Let me know if you're excited for the new Life is Strange game, Life is Strange True Colours, and I know I'm going to be spelling that wrong completely all the time because I'm British and I like to put U's in colours. Because I'm super excited to play around with a story-based game again. I loved playing Tell Me Why last year. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays around 7 PM my time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Goodbye!